What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Baby, baby. Woo, man. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode of What's in Your Studio. All right, so we're going to get down to it, man. We ain't got that much time for your grind. I'm going to try to keep this as a short video. People keep telling me I talk too much, so I'm going to try to make this work for you. So we're going to talk about modifiers today. And if you're new to this is a channel for personnel that's new to photography, new to studio photography, and that you want to engage in how to use it. I use my home studio. I worked in bigger studios, smaller studios, rented studios, partnered studios, but I love my home studio because it resonates with me and I get to do what I love to do inside of here, and it provides me with the service. So if you want to look into providing an opportunity to build a studio for yourself, please do go check out my video on how to build your studio inside your garage, because this is my home garage. It's a 2-car garage, and I built it out to be my professional studio, and I love it, and it's working out really well for me. So, but we're going to talk about some modifiers and kind of why I chose these particular modifiers for this space, and how you can use the same thing, but also too what you're shooting dictates how you want to set it up. Myself, since I like beauty, fashion, art, beauty, fashion, and glamour, I like the lights to kind of reflect that look. In portraitures, I like the lights to reflect that look. So I went out and I got the newer Q lights. I have Q4s and Q6s in here, and I really love it because also the way they're built, like the lanterns, it gives me more ceiling space because I have 10-foot ceilings, and these modifiers get kind of long. So wherever I can take distance away from the ceiling to the modifier, I really do like, especially when I'm doing my overhead lighting. But let's talk about the modifiers itself and why we're doing it. First, we're going to start off with, First, we're going to start out with the beauty dish. So it's 3 different modifiers, 3 different conditions, but we're going to keep it at the same distance. We're going to keep it at the same distance, and we're going to keep it in the same direction to the subject. The subject will be me. So the camera won't change as well. The camera distance won't change, so that's no factor into it. The light, every light is set at the same power. It's a 1/4 of a power stop. So every light set at the same, and the camera settings is not going to change. So that's what I want you to understand. This light over here, this lighting up and illuminating my studio, I will turn that off because I don't want you to think that this is helping. So let's do that right now. So you can really see what it looks like when you're in the studio. I don't got the only light now I have is the light that's on my station over there. There's small circular, maybe 3-inch lighting that we have. So that way I can have a little bit of light onto me, but it does not affect the lighting that's out here in the studio. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at this first modifier sitting right here. All right. Which is the beauty dish. All right. If you guys don't know what a beauty dish is, please do check out my video when I talked about setting up and safety video. And I did talk about the beauty dish inside of there and how to use it, why I use it, and all that good stuff. And I will be putting out more videos about the beauty dish later on with different clients, so you guys can see the effects of that. So with this beauty dish in itself, I'm going to keep it basically in the same direction for myself, and I'm going to make sure that each light is the same distance. I'm just going to put out my arm. If I can touch it, then that's where I want it to be. Okay, right on my fingertips. All right, so that's good. But the distance of this light is a little bit lower. I'm gonna sit down to see where it's at, and it's pretty much where I kind of want it to be at. So I'm gonna leave it right there. So the fall off of the light and where it hits on my forehead, exactly where I want it to be. So let's go here. I'm gonna raise this guy up just a tad bit right there. Okay. Sorry, my bad. That's not the shot we want. Get back here. All right, that was too high. Should have kept it where it was at. All right, go there. Stop shooting, stop. All right, there we go. So now I'll just my focal point, trying to get my focal point right where I want it to be. Chair moved a little bit. So, all right. So that's the light coming onto me with this modifier at the distance that it's at 45 degree. And this is a beauty dish. We're going to talk about this. I'm going to go real quick so you can see the reason for it. Again, I'm gonna turn this guy off. And we're gonna have the parabolic light here. And again, I want the edge of this light to be the same distance. Turn this on. Unlock it. There we go. And I'm gonna push this down just a little bit because we're, all right there. So it kind of match up to how the other light was set. All right. And I'll get that at 45. Again, it's not where the stanchion is at. It's where the edge of this light is at, to where I'm looking. So I'm here and I see this light is going off this way instead of 45 to me. So I'm gonna turn it. You guys got to do this when you're on set, okay? So I need to bring it up just a little bit. All right, and I need to raise this one up because it's a lot larger. So I need to raise it up to where I need to be, where I want the light to hit me at while I'm sitting. And it's again, lights over this way. I got the distance that I need. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a seat and take the shot. There we go. All right, and what I'm gonna do is, I did raise this up just a tad bit too high, so I'm gonna lower it just a little bit. And I'm going to, that's good right there. I'm gonna do this one more again. Okay, that's where I want it to be. All right, good. And now we're gonna go to Bertha. Bertha is big. Ooh, she's a big girl. So again, all the power on each light is all the same. So we don't have any issues with that. And I'm gonna bring Bertha out. This is a, so we saw a beauty dish, we saw a parabolic modifier, and now you have an octabox modifier. Turn it on. And raise her all the way up because her edge is where her edge is at. She has no other modifiers on there, no grid or nothing, just a plain light. And I'm gonna do the same thing. So the distance, since this bad boy is 8 feet, having this distance be the same will be, you're gonna see a total difference. Again, photographers, I'm not talking about feathering light and stuff like that, and the distance, and the distance of that should be the distance and all that stuff. So we're just looking at light. All right. Woo, there we go. So let's go over to the side over here. And we're gonna go take a look-see of all the lights that we just created, okay? So I'm gonna transition back over here. I apologize, I was supposed to be on the screen. All right, so we're gonna look at the first light here. Let me get rid of those two flashes that wasn't supposed to be in there. So delete those. All right, so this one is the first one from the beauty dish right here, okay? I did two from the parabolic box, so I'm gonna do the second one instead. So, because that's the one I had to lower the light for you guys to see it. So this is the first one. Okay, let's go out. Let's go all the way out. All right. I want you guys to see this image how I want you guys to project this image how I'm trying to project it. We're at the same settings, the same light settings for each picture. You go over here to exposure. Okay, you see the exposure, and each one of them varies a little bit by size and by direction for what's coming up through your camera from the light and how that's communicating. All right, I didn't change my distance. I sat in the same spot. I pretty much kept the lights in the same position that they're supposed to be at, that I can have them at, and to give you guys the different feels of looks on this. So this is the beauty dish light. Having a beauty dish light, I really love because it softens, and then you see where this highlight is at. All right, and that's where you raise and lower your light. So you don't want that highlight right in the middle of your forehead. That's all I'm trying to do. And you want the catch light always up at the top edge of your light and not at the bottom edge of your light. That's where you want the catch light. Now, normally my Beauty dish is a lot closer because softer light, things like that. So we're not talking about that right now, because if I get into that, we're gonna get to a whole nother world, and that's another subject and all that. And I want to break this stuff down to you. But in intensity of light, and before you can see it and how light flows, this is why we're looking at this, because I didn't change any settings. All I did is just put all three different modifiers so you guys can have a look see on how they operate. I love the fact that if I come over here, and this is what I'm looking at, okay? I'm looking at fall off from each one. So if I go to this fall off, it's a lot more, spread. The spread is different. And I go to this fall off, you can see how dark it gets in transition. And this fall off is practically none, because it's a bigger modifier. So you know you're gonna get different. Same, the camera lens didn't change, nothing like that changed. I didn't change, so you can see the different ways how the light is falling off, and how you can start articulating the messaging. So if you're shooting someone, you're like, look, I want it to be a little bit more lit at the bottom. I want this, I want that, and I want to still have the same structure of light on the face. Okay, ooh, we can go that close, man. I got to do some retouching on that one. All right, so you see where the light's hitting at right here, where the light's hitting at right here, and where a light is hitting at right here. You see how I did that? Boom, boom, boom. Y'all see what I'm doing? So when you measuring out your light, if you have consistency, and I keep talking about this word consistency, you want to have consistency. If you look at each one of my eyes, and the catch light is right where it's supposed to be. Right where it's supposed to be. You see my catch light in my eye is right where it's supposed to be. If you guys can't see it, let me come up here a little bit. Catch light's right there. Catch light's right there. Catch light's right there. Same spot, because I set in the same spot, same direction, same different lights, and I put the lights exactly where I knew I want to be. So I know I don't have a big hot spot on my forehead coming out. So if you're having that issue, you understand, raise your light up a little bit. You can have that. You're always going to have some type of fall off to that, because of 45-degree, the way it's grading across your face. As you can see, all the lights just grading across my face in different ways. Okay, it's a lot sharper. This is a lot sharper than this one. This one's a little flatter. This is a lot sharper. This one's wide open, because it's illuminating the whole structure, but you can still see a little bit of the density of the light. I have a white bounce card to bounce light back to it, because if I didn't, I have the gray there, and the gray will keep it very dark. So I used a white bounce card that you can see here in the studio to kind of help illuminate the back at me, the light back at me. So we're going to talk about that as well. So you can see it in there in a frame there. So, but other than that, man, you guys, if you guys have any questions, anything like that, please do reach out to me. My name is Antwyone. This is Antwyone Photo Tips channel. I really appreciate you for joining me for another episode of What's in Your Studio. If you like videos like this, please do subscribe and follow. If you have any questions about this, please do know that I'm going to be breaking down these lights methodically. I'm going to make sure you guys understand how to use these, how to better your engagement with your client and your subject, and why. You guys are going to see some live shoots. I have a live video coming out here shortly about a shoot I did here this last week. So you guys can see that, and you see why I chose different lighting measures for that shot. But we're going to be talking about all the things, because as long as you start getting your muscle memory down, you guys are going to start seeing some good stuff happen with your photography on that line. So other than that, man, keep shining the grind. I'm Antwyone again, so please do support the channel, support the cause, man, because we're just trying to get out here and keep photography alive. All right, I'm out.